I like a lot of pepper, okay? Hey, I'm Chef Lachelle Cunningham here at The Good Acre. So I'm the culinary education manager and I love to make food that features local ingredients. This recipe is inspired by Harvest of the Month ingredient, specifically legumes or black-eyed peas. We've got some locally grown and sourced seasonal vegetables, plus some herbs, plus we're gonna make this salad with a delicious seasoned dressing. So today's recipe and video is being created to inspire more farm to school champions. We really want you to use more locally sourced produce and products on your school menus. We really need to celebrate and be proud of the delicious bounty that we have in Minnesota. All these great ingredients that we can use to make delicious recipes. Let's go. First thing, only thing that I'm gonna cook in this salad is the corn. I'm gonna roast it in the combi oven. Woo! Now, that is how you grill corn in the combi oven. Look at that beautiful char. Okay, it's hot now. I'm gonna let it cool down while we get the rest of our salad together. But before we do that, let's talk about these things here. Black-eyed peas, they're really my favorite legume. I love them. I have a special connection with these because my ancestors brought them over from Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. And this was one of the foods they were most familiar with eating. And so it's actually known in Southern and in soul food traditions and in African-American family traditions that we make black-eyed peas and collard greens every New Year. It's like a kind of a gesture to bringing wealth and prosperity into your homes for the new year. So that's something to know about legumes, and specifically black-eyed peas, should I say. And then the other thing about these, they're legumes, right? What are legumes? Well, they're beans and peas. They usually grow in a pod. They're delicious. They're full of protein, nutritious. In this particular recipe, you could sub out the black-eyed peas. Use your favorite bean instead. You could also sub out and use tofu instead of beans. So the other thing you need to know about all legumes, especially if they're dried, is that they need to be soaked overnight, preferably in nice, good, clean water, okay? You can use a canned version of this as well, you know, using those commodity items or another canned bean as well. So I've already got my black-eyed peas ready to go for the salad. I've also got some feta here as well for the recipe. And really, you can use whatever vegetables that you have that are seasonal and ready to go, that you have that are accessible to you. I've kind of put a hodgepodge of things because I like all the colors, right? So I've got orange peppers, I've got cucumber, I've put a little bit of, now you can omit this if you want, but I'm gonna put a little jalapeno in there because we like to have a little spice. I've got red Roma tomatoes, I've got also purple onion, I've got some celery, and also I have a little rhubarb that I had from my garden, so gotta put that in there. And then as far as the herbs go, I have some parsley that I got at the local co-op. I got some local cilantro. I've got some green onions or scallions, as you will. And then from my garden, I picked some fresh basil as well as some fresh oregano. So all of these seasonings, all of these herbs are going to go in here to give this salad a really fresh and delicious flavor. All right, so let's get to cutting. All right, first things first that I'm gonna start with is chopping up this orange bell pepper. I'm gonna cut it off the core here. Try not to get any of the white inner core part. And then just chopping using my rocking motion and my knife skills. All right, so we've got our orange peppers. Orange bell peppers. All right, so then I've got some celery. I kind of pre-cut this celery. So I wanted to make sure, because I'm using black-eyed peas and I love to honor Southern, especially Creole cooking when I do black-eyed peas. So I wanted to make sure I put the Trinity in here, which is the Creole Trinity, which is green peppers, onions, and celery. So I wanted to make sure I had the celery in this recipe. You can use celery, you can use other vegetables that you like. It's all up to you. I've also got some rhubarb. I love rhubarb. It's gonna give a nice tart, kind of tart flavor and a crunch to this salad. So that's adding, it's almost like a pinkish red color we're adding to our salad. Then I'll go ahead and chop my onion. All right, so we've got our onions. This might be a lot of onions, so I think I'm gonna hold back half. I can always add more, but I don't wanna overdo it. So next, we've got our jalapeno. Put 1 jalapeno in here. Now, mind you, I'm gonna cut out the seeds. If you like it spicy, you can leave the seeds in. Now you might wanna use a different pepper. Next, Roma tomatoes. So, and I usually cut this whole, you could dig the core out. I'll usually cut the tip off and like I said, use that in stock. But we're just keeping it simple today. It can be hard sometimes because of the skin to cut. So you definitely need a sharp knife, okay? All right, delicious, okay? Get this cucumber in. All right, in the bowl they go. We have our corn, which is mostly cooled down. Now, I'm probably gonna save one of these just so I can eat it with some little bit of salt. Delicious. But we'll maybe cut 1 or 2 of these. Cut the kernels off the cob. So just standing it up on its head. I love charred corn when I'm putting it in any sort of salad application, but you can easily boil the corn until it doesn't take long, till it gets nice and tender and the kernels get nice and bright. All right, so let's see, this corn situation. I think that's enough corn for this. All right, so we've got our vegetables for our black eyed pea salad. I'm gonna cut up the herbs next, and then we're gonna do the salad dressing. So I've also got, I'm not gonna put too many herbs in here. I'm gonna put some green onions or scallions, some basil, a little bit of parsley, a little cilantro. This cilantro's probably seen better days. And then I have a little oregano here. Isn't that cute? All right, so we're just gonna cut these guys up. So you could pre-cut up all your aromatics and then throw them in there. All right, so yum. I mean, this looks like a delicious salad already with just the vegetables and the herbs in it. So now that I have this, I've got my black eyed peas, I got my feta. So we're making a salad dressing, basically a vinaigrette-based salad dressing. So most vinaigrettes are gonna start basically with an oil and an acid. So my oil is going to be extra virgin olive oil and my acid is going to be apple cider vinegar. Another part of the acid that we're going to use is lime juice for this. All right, so we got a nice, I would say maybe a 1/4 cup or so of olive oil. And then I'm just going to splash in a little bit of the vinegar. I would say I probably did 1/8 cup or 1 ounce. So I'm going to add a little salt. I'm not gonna add a lot, a few sprinkles. And I'm also gonna add in a little bit of mustard to add to the flavor and also help to emulsify our dressing. So I've got just a little Dijon mustard, about a teaspoon, 1/2 to a full teaspoon, however much you want in there. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of our coriander. Then I've got the onion powder, got a little garlic powder, got a little cumin. And then I'm putting some smoked paprika in here to give us some extra flavor, a little fresh cracked pepper. I like a lot of pepper, okay? All right, so I'm gonna whisk this together. It's making me salivate, just the aroma. So that means it's time to taste it. Oh my goodness. You know what? To balance this out, I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. But we just want to sprinkle a little bit in here because it's a tart flavor. It's got the smokiness from the smoked paprika and all of those different seasonings in there. And it's gonna be pretty savory salad with the black-eyed peas and all the vegetables. So having that little bit of sugar to balance it out is necessary. So we got our salad dressing. We've got our vegetables and herbs that we chopped up. We've got our black-eyed peas and our feta. So these ingredients are gonna come together. I'm gonna add about half of the black-eyed peas at first. No, I'm gonna add them all. I'm gonna add all the black-eyed peas. And I am going to add about half of this salad dressing. Yum. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up using all of that, but let's go ahead and mix it together. Whoa. That's Instagram worthy videography right there. Wow, look at how those colors are just coming together. And we're gonna sprinkle in some of our feta. You could even use Parmesan cheese. Get a nice pop of that feta here and there. Yum. Look at that. Oh, this smells so good. We're gonna go ahead and plate it up. Remember I said you can use this as a main dish. It has everything in it. It's got vegetables, it's got your protein, got a little bit of starch from the black-eyed pea. Delicious. So you can eat it by itself. You can have it as a side dish. You can eat it with tortilla chips as a salsa, or you can put it inside of a grain bowl. All of these different flavors on top of just some lettuce and maybe some sort of grain like quinoa or rice, and have a grain or a salad bowl with it. Delicious. I have a baby spoon, but go ahead and so good. I can taste the celery. Every ingredient I can taste individually, but then they come together in like this great party in your mouth. Super balanced. Just, I gotta keep going. So there it is. Thanks. This video is made in partnership with the Minnesota Department of Agriculture's Harvest of the Month program and funded by a USDA grant with the purpose of helping Minnesota school districts to support their farm to school programming and their Harvest of the Month efforts.